Amekam Sharanam Raja. So Krishna says, abandon all forms of religion and surrender unto me, right? So what we are practicing is the surrender part, not Sharanam Raja. So Krishna. Sorry about the echo. Okay. So yeah, so we are doing activities in surrender to the Lord. So this is a means of surrender. Everybody is in different journey. Everybody is flying their own plane. So the degree of surrender is different. So again, we are going away from the topic. What I wanted to say was Srimad Bhagavatam establishes that Bhakti Yoga is the topmost and Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 12 sections in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it can be compared to the Lord's body. The first two cantos are his lotus feet. Then the third canto is his, and fourth canto are his thighs. Fifth canto is his belly button or navel. The sixth is his chest. And seventh and eighth are his arms. Ninth is his throat. 10th is his lotus face. 11th is his forehead, and 12th is his head with his hair. And what is, and we also discussed about the summary of each, what is discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshana, Uti, Manvantara, Ishanukata, Ashraya, Mukti, and Nirodha. So we are only in the first canto right now, and this is the introduction or the foundation. So we discussed who first speaks in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the sages have come together in which place?
Prabhuji.
Yes. Yeah, they have come to Naimisharanya. There's a forest of Naimisharanya. They have all come there, and they want to get knowledge about spirituality. So they're asking questions to Suta Goswami, who is the son of Romaharshana Sutta. Okay. So Shaunaka Rishi, you see in this picture, he is asking question to Suta Goswami, and Shaunaka Rishi is representing all the sages here. And then Suta Goswami actually prays to all the great personalities. Lord Narayan, he speaks to his spiritual master Sukadev Goswami, who he heard the Bhagavatam from. He is praying to Naranarayana Rishi. He's praying to Mother Saraswati and the author Vyasadeva. So today we'll be learning how Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. Why did he write Bhagavatam? So he had compiled all the Vedas, and then why did he have to write Bhagavatam? So that is what we'll discuss today. So we start here. So this chapter is the appearance of Sri Naradamuni. So now you can get a sense of how Vyasadeva got the idea to write Srimad Bhagavatam, the 18,000 verses. It is from his spiritual master Naradamuni. So if anybody asks who is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva is actually the literary incarnation of Krishna himself, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is getting instructions from Naradamuni. So what happened was, after Vyasadeva compiled all the Vedas, wrote the Mahabharata, he was still very upset. He was thinking about Kali Yuga and all the bad things that are going to happen. He was not happy even after writing all the Vedas and compiling the Mahabharata. And then, so when a devotee has a problem, the Lord sends spiritual master. So his spiritual master came and said to him that the reason why you're sad is because you haven't written about bhakti yet. That is the main essence of everything, all the Vedas and the Puranas. You have to glorify the Supreme Lord, and then you would be happy. And that is what is required in this age of Kali. So he got the instruction from Vyasadeva, from Naradamuni, and Vyasadeva decided to write the Srimad Bhagavatam. So how it is presented in Bhagavatam is, so after hearing about all the greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam that we discussed in previous class, Shaunaka Rishi inquired, so what is the history? How did Bhagavatam get compiled? Who wrote it? Why was, and then they asked a few good questions, all again to enlighten us, because if you see an interview on TV, one doctor is asking question to another doctor, but you think the person who's asking doesn't know anything. No, he has formulated the question so that the person who's watching will understand the basics, right? So Shaunaka Rishi is asking these questions to Vyasadeva about who compiled, why did Vyasadeva write the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then and also about Sukadev Goswami, right? So we know Suta Goswami is talking to Shaunaka Rishi and all the rishis, but Suta Goswami originally heard Bhagavatam from Sukadev Goswami, who was talking to Maharaj Parikshit. So some of the questions are, who is Maharaj Parikshit? Parikshit was such was actually born because Krishna went into the womb of Uttara and annulled the Brahmastra that was coming, right? So we discussed this when we were discussing Mahabharata, right? So all those, the rishis are asking for us benefit, like such a blessed child who saw as a fetus saw the Lord in the womb. How is he coming here to the forest by the Ganges to listen to Sukadev Goswami? Why did he leave his kingdom? He was such a good king. He had made sure none of the bad Kali Yuga aspects of quarrel and hypocrisy and all that will come into his kingdom. Why did he leave the kingdom? Everybody, he never used to even collect taxes at that time, and everybody voluntarily used to come and give money to the king because the king was managing everything so well at that time. So why did Parikshit Maharaj leave everything and just go to learn about the Lord? So what about, they're asking these questions?
Oh, I just wanted to know. I know the answer.
Okay. All right. So they ask these questions, and they're asking about so what is the qualification of a master or whoever is talking about Srimad Bhagavatam? We know our Acharya, who has written the purports for Srimad Bhagavatam, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, is coming in a disciplic succession, right? So that is very important that Suta Goswami is saying he heard all this from Sukadev Goswami, who is the son, or Sukadev Goswami is the son of Vyasadeva, and he is very qualified, and he knew all the literature that is out there, and he kind of condensed everything into Srimad Bhagavatam. So then he speaks about the four Vedas. So does anybody know what the four Vedas are? So there is Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. And he speaks about the acharyas for each of these Vedas. And then he speaks about the fifth Veda, as mentioned, is all the Puranas. That is the Puranas, the Acharya for that is Romaharshana Sutta, who's Sutta Goswami's father himself. So all this has been compiled, and then he's saying Vyasadeva was still not happy after writing all this, because he wanted to narrate the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord Krishna, and only once that is written, he will be fully satisfied. So that is teaching us that true happiness we will get only by serving the Lord. Right. So in the interest of time, we will go ahead and complete the class here and go into the Kahoot for today. Anybody has any questions? So while Vyasadeva was feeling upset, Naradamuni comes, and Vyasadeva provides all respects to Naradamuni as if he's Brahma himself, because Naradamuni heard the Srimad Bhagavatam from Lord Brahma. So he's giving all respects to his spiritual master. And that we all need to inculcate that humility. When we want to learn knowledge, we should be humble and we should take a subordinate position, because always energy flows from higher potential to lower potential, right? So if we think we are higher than everybody, energy or knowledge will not flow to us. So we should always be take a lower position and give all respects to the spiritual master, so that we can get the knowledge. Okay, any questions before we go to the Kahoot? Okay, so we can go ahead and get started with questions. There are only 7 questions today. And all of you, if you remember how to join, you just need to have a separate device from where you're doing Zoom, and scan this QR code or enter this PIN 712322 on www.kahoot.it. Okay, we have Unknown and Santoshji who have joined. Ayana, are you joining? No? Why? Here. Okay, Navyaji has joined. Ice Queen and Unknown. We have many folks who wants to conceal their identity. Okay, Fire has joined. We just need one more devotee to join. Who is that? Who hasn't joined yet? Okay, Ashmita ji has also joined. So, okay, let's get started. All right. First question for today. Okay, who is the father of Suta Goswami who narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimisharanya? Sukadev Goswami, Roma Harshana Sutta, Veda Vyas, Naradamuni. Yes, it's Roma Harshana Sutta. We discussed this briefly. And I don't know if you know the story of Roma Harshana Sutta. Is is the Acharya for all the Puranas, and he was actually killed by Balramji. When Balramji came, Romaharshana Sutta, though very exalted Acharya, he didn't give respect to Baldev, and he took a piece of kosa grass and touched him, and Romaharshana Sutta left his body. So I don't know if you know that story. We had discussed that when we talked about Mahabharata. So we can connect all this. And Harshana Suta's son, Suta Goswami, is the great Acharya who starts talking about Srimad Bhagavatam. So very good. We have Santoshji and Unknown on the board with this question. Good answer. To whom Sukadev Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam? Vyasadeva, Lord Shiva, Shamika Rishi, Parikshit Maharaj. So remember, we're talking about Sukadev Goswami, not Suta Goswami. Yes. Sukadev Goswami spoke to Parikshit Maharaj. And who was in that assembly? Suta Goswami. After he heard the Bhagavatam, he's now coming to the forest and telling all the sages about Srimad Bhagavatam. Very good. Who is the father and grandfather of Sukadev Goswami? Vyasa Krishna, Vyasa Parashara, Virochana Hiranyakashipu, Shiva Brahma. Father and grandfather. Oh, yes. 5 of you got that right. Sukadev Goswami is the son of Vyasadev, and Parashara Muni is the father of Vyasadev. So that's why father and grandfather. And if you remember, there's a story we discussed where Sukadev Goswami is none other than the parrot of Radharani, and the parrot, after Radharani left, heard the Bhagavatam from Lord Shiva and then flew because Mother Parvati went to sleep, and Sukadev Goswami in the form of Shuka, the parrot, was listening, and then she flew, the parrot flew into the mouth of Vedavyasa's wife and became Vedavyasa's son. And we'll discuss more about all those pastimes later. But very good answer, most of you. You got this right. And Parashara Muni is a great Acharya. He's the one who gave definition of God, who has 6 opulences, right? Infinite amount of that opulence, like beauty, fame, Aishwarya, or wealth. So 6 of those are renunciation. All those opulences are a knowledge and strength. So all 6 opulence, the definition of God is who has all these opulences to the infinite level. And that definition was given by Parashara Rishi, who is the father of Vedavyas. Okay, so we have Unknown in first place, second is Navyaji, third is Fire, fourth is Santoshji, and fifth is Ashmitaji. Okay, we go to the 4th question for today. Who classified the single large Veda into 4 texts? Veda Vyas, Tulsi Das, Valmiki, Markandeya Rishi. We discussed in class who is the compiler of all the Vedas, who was still feeling unsatisfied. So who is it? Yes, all of you got it right. That means I get a point. Okay, it is Veda Vyas. Very good. Okay. Which are the 4 Vedas? Rig Veda, Dharma Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, Atha Veda, and Atharva Veda, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Moksha Veda, and Atharva Veda, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. Yes, it is Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. Three of you answered Rig Veda, Dharma Veda. Dharma Veda is not the name of the second Veda. It is Yajur Veda. Sorry, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. Those are the 4 Vedas. Okay, Santoshji is in first place, followed by unknown, who is very, very close. Then comes Navyaji, Ice Queen, Fire. And as we discussed, everybody who plays is a winner. So don't worry about your position. What was Veda Vyasa's mood after compiling the Vedas, but before writing the Srimad Bhagavatam? Unhappy, tired, playful, surprised. Yes, very good. So that you have understood. The most important point of today's class is if you just learn the Vedas and all that, you won't be happy. You have to learn about Krishna and his devotees, then you'll become happy. Okay. If you have done really good. Okay, last question for today. How did Vedavyas react when he saw Naradamuni? He respect, disgust, deceit, jovial. Yes, respect. When you see a spiritual master, you have to give all respects. And so third place goes to Fire. Second place goes to Navyaji. And first place goes to Santoshji. So congratulations to the winners and the participants. All of you are winners for me because you are learning about Krishna and coming every week. So thank you so much for your association. I'm learning a lot from you. You're giving me the opportunity to learn and in my small way, describe what I learned to you. So thank you for coming every week and giving us your association. Dandavat pranam. Vancha kalpatarupascha kripa sindhupyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. So happy Mahashivratri and have a wonderful Krishna conscious week, everyone. See you next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Bye.
Hare Krishna, Sanakshi ji.
Babuji Nitin couldn't play Kahoot because he had some technical problems on his computer.
Oh, is that why he didn't join
Yeah.
the?
No, he did join it, but like after like he was unknown. Yeah.
Okay, but doesn't matter. Sometimes we'll have those difficulties, but good. You can tell him if he missed anything, what he missed. If he heard from your side, then that's good too. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.